welcome back to the Priceless Princess. Hi. So I tried to do my hair a little bit different. This one keep coming out. First it was this one, but this one keep coming out. So I gave it a shot. Okay, oh boy. This one came out. It's fine. It don't like me. But Princess, like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell, tell a friend on my channel. Make sure y'all share my video, make sure y'all share my life. Share my vlogs too, because I'm giving y'all a story time. Okay, this is part 1. I'm gonna put part 2 on my other channel, which is doing gorgeous. Y'all can go over there and see part 2. Okay, so that will be part 2 on that side. Then I'm gonna do some videos for TikTok. So y'all should go on my TikTok because I will be dropping new content on there too. And yeah, start to this story time that y'all want and stuff like that. So this is a good story time. So make sure y'all pay attention to this story time, because this happened many years ago, and this is going to be part 1. That part 2 is going to connect to that. Okay, so here we go. So basically of this story time, right? I was working with a lady, right? It was a lady, and the place was HRC. Okay, so the woman told me it was a high-end event. It was in February on the 5th or the 12th, the high-end event. And I went there. I was like, okay, I want to go. So she was like, you want me to come with you? You can do it by yourself and stuff like that, you know. So she was like, plus, she was like, matter of fact, I gotta take other people in there anyway. So sure, I can come as a group. So I came to the interview. It was right downtown. And went down there, went down to, you know. So back my mind, every time I be on these interviews, I'm always nervous. Because I be nervous because I know on these hires, it be so many people that have to interview for and stuff. So it's like, I'll be like, well, I know I gotta get like, you interview a script and you putting your whole work in something, and then it's like, they're gonna pick other people, they're not gonna pick you. So that's how I be feeling when you doing the script. You have to keep rehearsing your script, and then it's like they still ain't picking you. I done did this hard work for nothing. That's how I was feeling at the time. So basically, right, we got up there, we asked for high event. They said the stage go upstairs. It was like, okay, I see like the clothes and stuff, so I'm looking like, this look like a good spot to work at, good spot, So I'm like, okay. So we get upstairs. When I mean, it's like 20 people in there. It's like 20 people. And I'm like, mind y'all, it's basically like my age, older woman, and like older men, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm getting it. So I'm basically like saying, yo, I don't think I'm getting it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the job or not, right? So I'm like, oh goodness. So I'm all nervous and stuff like that. I'm looking around, The lady next to me, we're gonna call her Sonia. Okay, so the lady next to me, Sonia, was like, you know what to say to them, stuff like that. So they basically tell me I got it. Hey, don't get nervous, you got it. I believe in you, So I'm like, okay. So we had to write my name. So we went in there. They said, this is an interview. So y'all write, the names. So I'm writing my name. She had to write the other people's names and stuff like that, So after that, right, because you have to wait for your name to be called. So I'm basically like, there's like no chance to this. I'm basically laying on the wall like this, like just watching. I'm just like watching y'all. So it's this other girl, and no, it was like basically a woman, right? But she had the same name as me, as Grace. So she's like, it was her and her daughter. So both of them was trying to be see which one where she get the job. I'm looking like, so I see, I see the older woman, she all calm and was like relaxed, just not doing too much. The girl, like, I'm hoping I get this job and da da da. I know I'm gonna get it, and that. Like, she going, like, I'm looking at her like, girl, you doing too ghetto in this store. Too ghetto. Are you serious? So I'm like, are you serious? So I'm like, are you serious? Like, I'm just like, so after that, I'm like, okay. So after they calling people, they have people in the phone, they calling them, and a lot of people leaving and stuff like that, So while people were leaving, it's getting down to like 10 people in there. It was just 20. It got down to 10. So, they called 5 more people, to be interviewed, So I'm still waiting. I'm still on the wall. Mind you, I see a seat. I went and take it. Because I've been on the wall for a long time standing up. So I, stood up and stuff like that. It may be, So I sat down. So while the other 5 people left, they called, like I said, the woman named Grace, and then me. So they called us 5 in the room. So we all sitting around the table. I'm just like, oh, this is a group. I was like, oh, I wasn't ready for this. Like, I wasn't ready for no group to be interviewed. So I'm like, okay, you know what? You got this. I believe you. So I'm saying in my head, you got this. I believe in you. Let's do this. So, the lady like, hello, how y'all doing? This is GoodWill, And what we have positioned today is the cashier, sales, and stock. So out of those 3, that's what y'all gonna work at stuff. And then they basically said, if y'all not go to cashier, then it's other positions available and stuff like that. So, So we like, all right, and stuff like that. So basically, I'm sitting right here. The other girl named Grace is like, I ain't good. Like, she mumbling like, I ain't good with cashier. I'm gonna tell her, just put me on sales or stock. I can do that. So I'm like, we haven't even got started. She even go by one to have conversations. You mumbling why? So I'm just like, then you see the daughter on that side, like, you better just pick me. Like, she got a mean face. I'm just like, show some happiness. God agree. I'm just way through with it, because I'm just like, I'm the only one who's smiling and being nice, and y'all just like, they don't want to be it. So I'm like, whatever. So after that, right, that's when I was like, okay. So after that, the boss, we don't call her T. So T going around the room. So, and while they talk, T like, when I go to y'all, give me your resume, I could, then we do the interview from there. So basically everybody passed that interview. She going by, go by, She went by Grace and then her daughter. I gave her the interview, passing down to the interview, stuff like that, Then after that, she stopped by the other side, right? So she made me the last one. So I'm looking like, why are you making me the last person to get interviewed? So after that, I'm gonna look like, you could have kept going from the daughter to all the way up. Come on now. So I'm like, all right. So, after they going, everybody saying, she got to me, the last one of me. And last one here. So, not like here, but everybody looking at me. So she was like, Grace, which is me. So she like, can I have your resume? So they passing it down to her, to my resume and stuff like that. I'm just so like, I hope they might copy off my freaking resume. Cause Grace, I'm very impressed of how your resume looking. Like, it's looking good from what I seen of me interviewing other people and stuff. I say, yeah, I had a lot of, experiences and stuff like that. I have worked at other work experiences and stuff like that. He said, okay. So she was like, why should we hire you? I said, because I'm good with cashiers, I'm good on the floor, I'm good with stock. I'm basically just explaining stuff. Like, I'm good, like, helping people smile and know what they want, and they have like a style, I can definitely do it, stuff like that. So you know, basically just expressing, you know, trying to get the job, putting my whole art, you know. So they was like, okay. So they was like, your phone number? I said, yeah. So they was like, well, we will call you. No, they basically tell everybody. Tiffany was like, well, we will call everybody in like 3 or 5 business days, and we will let you know you got the job or not. So we was like, okay. So after that, you know, I was, hey, what did she say? I'm like, well, she said she'll keep the interview, and I would hear something about like 3 or 5 days. They was like, oh, okay. So after, you know, I'm nervous. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get this job. Like, I'm really saying it in my head, like, I know I'm not gonna get this job, because like, it was so many people in that room, and then how many people she had to interview. So I'm just like, yeah, I know T's not gonna hire me. Like, yeah, like, come on. So I had went out with my friends, stuff like that, you know. I'm not listening to my voicemail. Okay, this is when I was not listening to my voicemail like that. Okay, but then somebody told me, I think it was that Friday or Saturday, somebody told me to listen to that voicemail. Okay, so I listened to a voicemail. So Tiffany was saying, hey, you got the job and stuff like that. You know, we want you to come in on February 21st. You have to wear khakis and some, you wear there in your feet, like some shoes. You just can't wear boots or anything. You can't wear boots, but you can wear some sneakers, just as long as, you know, it's something nice and stuff like that. And we will give you a, yeah, I'll be, they called me, and I'm like, because they basically agreed you got the job and stuff. So, you know, we would start on the 21st. So I was like, oh my God, I'm finally starting on the 21st. So I was like, I didn't think they were going to pick me. So, you know, I had to buy me some khakis, which I told my mom I had to buy me some khakis, bought like 2 or 3 pair. This is when I was skinny, okay? This is when I was skinny, and I could fit my khakis. And I had these colorful sneakers and stuff like that, you know. But, yeah, this is when I was skinny, I could fit. So I'm like, okay. So, the sneakers, you know, because I got it. It was right downtown and stuff like that, you know. So on the first day, I went in there. I was nervous. I went down there downtown on the. So I had my regular shirt. They said they were gonna give me a shirt. So I had a regular shirt, some khaki pants, and my sneakers. I just started. They said, you gotta go in the back. I was like, okay. I asked somebody. They said, we're gonna call the manager come downstairs. Manager came downstairs. Was like, show me around. It's like a small space. It's basically like women clothes on the wall, shirts right here. It's all mixed up. The pants, the men's pants is in one section. Then the back is basically like furniture and stuff, like books and stuff. So that's in the back. The cashier is by the door. So this is basically the door of the cashier right here. So the back is just stock, like what would they see in the thing, like, well, it's like basically like it's like a retail, but it's basically like whatever people donate, we put it on the floor and stuff like that. So it's basically like that. We go on those stairs, stuff like that. We go outside our office and stuff like that. I'm doing paperwork, signing my life away. Okay, just to get the job. Cause for the sign and stuff, you know, case might be, documents like that. So she was like, you have any questions? I said, yes. I said, so when I'll be getting paid? She said, you be getting paid in 2 weeks. I was like, 2 weeks? 2 weeks? So, I'm like, why 2 weeks? Like, I need a week. I ain't get paid every week. Why 2 weeks? So I'm like, okay. So of course I knew when I started I wasn't gonna get paid that week. It was gonna be like 2 more other weeks. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, alright. So I'm working, you know, so after I finished doing the paperwork, stuff like that, you know, get my beat, you know. She was like, alright, you finished the paperwork, stuff like that, you know, background check. So they did the background check. So I basically started the next day, right? Because she told me to come back because they had to do the background check. My bad. She said, come back tomorrow, we're going to do the background check. When the background should be clear, then you're going to start tomorrow. We was like, okay. So I basically going to start that day, start tomorrow. I think it was good. So I'm like, alright. I came in, so basically I got dressed for nothing, y'all. So I basically came in on 22nd, started and stuff like that, you know. she basically had me come in like the morning shift to get to know everybody, stuff like that. So I came in, put my clothes away. It was a locker we had. So I put my stuff in the locker and stuff. So put it in there. So I had bought me something to eat because it was the morning from like 9 to like 3 or 4 o'clock afternoon. So I'm down there. I'm just like, doing the wax and stuff like that. Basically doing the wax. So I'm fixing the wax. So I think the store was opening about like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So so when it got around that time, people coming in, coming in the store, stuff like that, doing the wax, putting the stuff back, stuff like that. So I put it in the men's section. 'Cause I see a lady has a card, but I'm thinking, that is one of the customers. She would say, "Something, how do we doing that card?" So she would say, "Oh, I'm leaving it here for my friend Harris." So I'm like, "Harris?" He said, "Yeah." He works in the men's, but he come in the afternoon. And it's almost time for him to come. So I put this stuff and tie it up before he come. It could be in here. Like, he would have his own car. It was like, oh, okay, like, that's strange. So I'm basically saying in my head, like, that's strange. But, I ain't saying anything. So I'm like, okay. So they playing music and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay. So while I'm putting the clothes away, I'm dancing. I'm getting down, like, ooh, ooh. I'm doing all this dancing, just having a good time, 'cause everybody's just like tired stuff. So I'm always dancing. I'm making the customers laugh because I'm just like shaking it, dancing while I'm putting the stuff away. Everybody's just laughing because they see what type of spirit I am. Like, just having fun, goofy, just dancing, just being myself, okay? Because that's basically what I was doing, just being myself, put stuff away. Because was asking me something, I was asking them something. And I was having to put stuff away. I was picking out outfits for them and stuff like that. I was just being goofy of who I am. Named Wayne. It was a guy named Wayne. And he like, hello. I was like, hello. So I'm putting the stuff away, so I knew he was coming. So he came, so he tapped me. He's like, are you new? I was like, yeah, I'm new. And then he was like, oh, I haven't seen. I said, yeah, I just started. He's like, oh, wow. But yeah, I just started. He was like, okay, and stuff like that. So we basically just having a conversation. So I said, I can see you. He said, yeah. So after that, I'm just like still dancing, having a good time and stuff. I'm just being me and just being me. Dancing and stuff. I'm putting the racks away. So basically all the way till March, okay? All the way till March, still having a good time, still dancing, helping out customers. And my schedule changed into closing time to like 4 to 10. I'm still dancing on the floor at the time. I did have some days where I was like tired. I didn't feel like dancing. It was my cup of tea. So I had days where I wasn't dancing, but I was still having a good time, right? So basically, around that day, it was a girl, right? She was walking slow, but I could tell she had an issue. Okay, I could tell something was wrong with her. Okay, so she brought the rats and stuff like that. It might be. We had when I came, it was so much racks by where people had to come down a ramp to get to like the men's and the furniture on the back. So much racks. So when I got upstairs and I clocked in and stuff like that, I came down. I put some of the clothes on this side, and just had my own rack and just run them back and forth. It was coming down to like 4 racks, 4 or 5 racks. Me and this woman did it, but she was walking like a slow pace, like she was doing everything like slow pace. But I could tell she was very old, like, not old, but just like you could tell she was young, but get like very old in the face, like. But she did have an issue. She did, clothes bags, stuff like that. We just having a talk. So basically, like, basically like 1 manager, 2 supervisors. So keep those 3 people in mind, right? So, we just, so she like, hello, who, you new? So we gonna call this woman, let's call her W, okay? So this woman named W was like, you new? I was like, yeah, I'm new and stuff, like clothes back, fitting rooms, all that, basically how this go, So after that, so she like, all right. So she like, all right. So we chatting, it's going smooth and stuff like that, just having a conversation and stuff like that. So it was another girl. She came by the rap, but she had an attitude. Another girl, but she had an attitude. So we gonna call her Attitude Girl. Okay, remember her name was Attitude Girl, right? So coming down, going down again around April. Okay, just going by April. Going down April, in April it rains. So, going down, So soon as I'm starting to get to know people in the store, because everybody was like, when I came in about the clock in the cash register, the guy would say, you very funny, because every time you come, you always dance, having a good time, making me laugh, doing these crazy dances. I was like, yeah, I'm a laugh for the party. Like, I like making people laugh at me. So she said, well, he was like, you doing a good job. I said, yeah. And stuff. We had a conversation and stuff like that. We had to make it short because, like I said, the 2 supervisors and the manager was coming down. Stuff like that. Well, the manager, we cut it short, stuff like that. Case might be, So basically, everybody's getting to know me because they see my personality, they see how I am, stuff like that, So after that, I'm like, okay. So we talking, having a good time, So W like, I can't stand attitude. So I'm like, wow. He said because she always got something to say and stuff like that. So my nurse, she like that. So we having a conversation, But we not noticing attitude coming down the stairs and stuff like that. We not noticing, we just having our own conversation. So attitude say, W, what did you say? So after that, I'm like, how you just come out and just say, W, what did you say? Like, that is so rude. You could have been like, what did you say? Like, in a proper manner. So I stepped in. Before she even said that, I stepped in and was like, she wasn't talking to you. She was talking to me. I didn't know your name was my name. Like, I didn't know it was Grace. So I was like, she was talking to me. She wasn't talking to you. So she was like, who is you? And people you don't even know, but she was talking to me. So after that, that's when she gave me a look like, I don't care. I don't care about the back. Put the rest in the back. So she put the rest right where the ramp is at and we're in the back. So we putting everything together, stuff like that, She had her whole attitude. I didn't really care. So after that, I'm like, nobody was even talking to you. Why you had something to say about something that it had nothing involved with you? She was telling me stuff, like she wasn't talking to you. So I'm like, cool. So, later on comes, still having like a good time and stuff like that, Case might be. Manager, remember it was 3 managers, but one of them went home. One of the manager came, was like, who's Grace? I was like, me. So, remember, one of the supervisors was Emily. The other one, Max. The other one was Max or Anna. So, but we're going to call her Max, okay? So, those 2 names. So, Emily, like, girl. So, I was like, well, the girl was talking to me. She wasn't even talking to her. She just butted in. Okay, so she was basically talking to me and stuff like that. So, it had nothing to do with her. So, she could have just kept her mouth quiet. So, she like, well, you should. I'm like, no, don't try to cut for her and stuff like that. Like, it's because y'all been friends or what. I'm like, no, if I have something, I'm going to say it. I'm not scared to say what I'm going to say. And she was like, I don't care. I'm going to say what I need to say. You can't stop me for saying what I need to say. I forgot. She didn't go home. It was one of the other managers. I think it was Max that went home. My bad. Max went home early. It was only Emily and the manager. The manager came up to me. Yeah, my bad. The manager came up to me and was like, oh, this and that. So I was like, I didn't like how she talks to the manager. The manager gave me like, I can't do nothing about it. Well, listen, well, you coming out here, you could solve some issues or anything like that, but I know you know homegirl, so don't be doing all that. So, so she went back, was like, because I was going to say, I'm going to say it to her, and I ain't going to care how she felt. So I was like, you got a whole new chef in town who's going to speak her mind. So, after that, because might be, she went in the back, stuff like that. So, days going by, stuff like that, I came in the afternoon, put my sneakers on, so I go downstairs, had my shirt on, go downstairs, I'm cleaning off the racks, okay? Cleaning off, I could have my own rack to do and stuff like that, So it was one load, I'm putting on that one. Attitude comes. So she putting the rack on what I'm just about to use to go up and down. I was like, excuse me, I'm using that rack to go to do these other racks. Whereas other racks, like, well, you could have put it on that one. It's nothing was put on that one. So she gave me a whole attitude. So I don't care if you're not putting no nothing else. So you better put on those other racks. So she goes, put in those other racks, stuff like that. Like I said, I'm going to say it to you. I ain't going to know how you feel, but you're going to hear it from me. So after that, she had a whole attitude. I didn't care about her attitude or nothing. It was like nobody was going to stop me from saying what I need to say. So after that, right, she had a whole attitude. I didn't really care. So I put the racks on what I was going to do and stuff like that. It's going to go fast anyway, how I'm going to do it. So after I put the racks on, while it's going down, like it's being empty and stuff like that, it was like 3 or 4 racks me and W was doing. So she had no attitude. I didn't really care. The manager didn't even come down no more because she was like, I'm not this time over. Grace is a whole different person. I'm not going down for her no more. So she was even mad because the manager wasn't coming down and tell her about myself. Because I had already told her what it was. So she ain't come down, stuff like that. So, okay. So she was mad because the manager didn't come down and say something. I'm like, yeah, because the manager knew how once I speak my mind, I speak my mind. So she was mad and stuff, but I didn't really kick it. You still gonna have to work here. So, yeah. So after that, right, that's what, it's going down to the nitty gritty. Like, it's going down to getting hot weather. So, so it's going down to May. So it's going down, like I said, everybody knowing me, everybody's having a good chat. It's the W, even though we having a good chat. Everybody get to know me. And stuff like that. Wayne getting to know me. Everybody's getting to know me. So after some time, talking ain't good. Been seeing you. So I was like, yeah, I've been home, having these 2 days off, relaxing, stuff like that, right? Well, mind y'all, I was getting paid every 2 weeks. My check was looking lovely. Okay? Lovely. And I think it was like back then, the waiver was like 11. It was 11. Yeah, it was 11. The wage was 11. So I was getting paid a lot. I was getting paid like $400, $500. And child, it was a lot. Cause I remember that bank account was like 500. I was like, oh, this is looking lovely. And we get to know each other. So he like put my number in my phone. So I put my number. So I gave Wayne my number, and he put in his phone. I put my name on it. So it's no stuff like that, right? So after that, right, he was okay. So we was chatting, we're doing the rap, stuff like that. He left around 6 o'clock. So he's coming from 12 to 6, and I used to leave late, like 9. So it'd be Sundays we would have off, and Sundays we didn't. So Sundays he would have off, but I had work, and days when I had off, he was at work. So basically we didn't have our time. So, but we would chat at home and stuff like that. Me and him would have a good conversation and stuff like that, So, time going on, case might be, So, we doing everything, So I went to the bathroom. Because the bathroom was always in the back. No, I'm like, yeah. The bathroom, no, I'm like, the bathroom was upstairs. Our bathroom was upstairs. The customer's bathroom was on the floor where everything was at. 3 bathrooms. It was one upstairs, one downstairs where people was doing donations at that door. There was another on the floor, but it was always to the furniture right there. So cousin's bathroom right there by the furniture. We had 2 bathrooms. So I was like, let me get off the floor, I'm going to the bathroom. So I told one of my co-workers I'm going to the bathroom. She said, there's the other. Went to the bathroom. I mean, I went upstairs. Went to the bathroom upstairs, it was nobody up there, So, go in the bathroom, right? I literally opened the door. I said, oh, my bad. My bad, I didn't know. So, they was like, Grace, I was like, I didn't know. I should have locked the door. So, when the door, right, it's basically Emily and Max getting it on in the bathroom. I'm like, why y'all didn't lock the door? Where do y'all do this at? I'm like, why y'all doing this in here? So I didn't say anything, okay? I was just like, oh, I didn't think these two go this way. So I'm looking like, I'm not thinking y'all two go this way. Like, I'm not thinking that, right? I said, oh, my bad. So after I go back downstairs, I was like, so I asked one of the ladies, I'm like, is it in that bathroom here? So mind you, I'm still brand new because somebody was telling me, they was like, why don't you go upstairs? I said, it's 2 people, somebody in that bathroom. There's another one in the corner. So the lady showed me where the bathroom's at. So I go in there, use the bathroom and stuff like that, So I basically didn't tell them what I saw. So I was like, okay. So I went back on the floor, stuff like that, had a conversation, stuff like that, So basically just sitting, stuff like that, basically just doing the rest. So this other big girl, right? This one, we gonna call her Jazzy. Okay. Jazzy come up to me and was like, I was like, what are you talking about? He said, well, they talking in the back and say you said you saw something. I'm like, I don't know what I saw. So he said, you not gonna say? I was like, no, because I'm not trying to get in trouble or what I seen, what I didn't see. So I was like, I don't know. So I was like, why? And I was like, okay. So I'm like, all right. And then after I'm still helping out, helping out people, stuff like that, Jazzy coming, okay, she's basically coming back to me. And I'm like, yes, Jazzy. So I got to tell you before I walked away. I said, what did you have to tell me? So she's like, Emily, Max, and attitude be getting on in the bathroom upstairs. So just be careful because they like to do they stuff. So he was like, I'm just gonna warn you, those 2 is like the 3 musketeers. You haven't seen nothing yet in the store. So I was like, just let you know, it's between us. So I'm like, okay, like this is none of my business. This is none of my business. So I was like, why are you telling me like it's none of my business? So I'm just like, why are you telling me this? So I'm basically like, why are you telling me this? Like, on past, as I said, right, named Jake, right? So, Jake came out, just going by the summer, so it might be, first me and Jake was like talking, having a conversation and stuff like that just happened, So I was chatting with Jake and stuff like that, Then because I went in the back, because I had to get some stuff in the back. So I went in the back. Jake was chatting with me, having good conversations and stuff like that, Then the next day, Rob was talking to me. So I'm having a conversation with Rob and stuff like that. And Rob is short. Rob is the same height as me, short as ever. Just having a conversation, So I'm just like, okay. This other man named Steve, he's very heavy set. He's just like going on and stuff like that, He just like, oh, I know what, they better pay my money and stuff like that. So I'm just like, oh my God, we got somebody else that's ghetto. Like, I'm basically, we got somebody else that's ghetto. So I'm like, all right. So, time going on, everybody doing what they need to do, So the big boss, it was another time when I came in for my stuff away, I go upstairs, I hear, oh, y'all doing this and that. So I'm like, who is that? So I see Jazz coming upstairs. So Jazz like, Grace, why you making that face? I said, who was that was saying? Oh, that's the big boss under that manager. That's the big boss that owns this company. I was like, what company? So I was like, what's her name? They was like, Maria. Maria is just like, she would fire you in a minute. She ain't gonna care what it is. She was looking through these cameras. She knows everything. You know, a whole bunch of stuff she was basically just telling me. So I'm just like, oh. So after that, you know, go downstairs, doing the rags, stuff like that. You know, everybody in the work, stuff like that. You know, usually it would just be us on the floor. The managers would be in the back chatting and stuff like that. You know, so while everybody leaving and stuff like that, you know, everybody leaving and stuff like that. You know, everybody leaving, right? Maria came, well, you know, everybody left. After everybody left, so Maria came and was like, y'all two. So she basically sent the attitude to a different store. So she was saying, well, you getting transferred to a different store because we need more workers. So we're going to transfer to a different store, but you're going to like it. That's okay. So the other man, they transferred her to a different store. They was asking Max, they was like, Max, you getting transferred because we want you to a different store. They was like, but we want y'all to here. We was like, okay. Case might be, you know. Basically added to it, Matt's getting changed for a whole different store. So it's basically gonna be two. It's gonna be a supervisor and the manager. So it's gonna be Emily, the supervisor, and then, you know, the manager. So the manager was like, okay, you gotta be here, stuff like that. The other manager in Mets, they kept her. My bad. They kept her. They told Attitude and Rob and another person that they was gonna be transferred to a whole different store. So, you know, so we was like, okay, and stuff like that. You know, they getting transferred. So those three was still good and stuff like that. You know, it's around October. So in October, ladies that was brand new and stuff like that I haven't seen in that far. But I remember one of the ladies, because one lady we was having a conversation. That's why I'm sorry to tell you y'all, but one lady named Grace, the other named Grace, we was having a conversation. Then she was like, hey girl, I'm here, stuff like that. I said, hey. But we was like cool and stuff. I wasn't trying to be too cool with her, but we was like on good terms, stuff like that, y'all know. So, and then there was another name, Sharon. So Sharon, it was like, she's always been in the kids section. That was her playground with the kids section of like clothes and stuff, and she knew the size and all of that. Like, she was getting tired doing racks, so she was like, no, I'm gonna stay by this kids section because there's nobody over here by this kids section. So they had a section and stuff like that. So like I said, Wayne would come in and put stuff on the wall. Sharon cuss him out, but hey, don't be putting these clothes here. This is women clothes, not kids clothes. Oh my bad, stuff like that. So, you know, she didn't play. When she said something, she did not care about her. She cared about her section. So after, you know, I wasn't really trusting her because something about her didn't make me trust her. So I'm like, all right. So, you know, Attitude left. They brought in more people in the store. I'm doing the rag, stuff like that, you know. It's getting close to Halloween. So basically, I love my Halloween day. So I'm basically just loving it. So they basically told, before the store, they was like, this is Halloween. Y'all can bring your costumes, stuff like that. You know. So mind you, in October, we had a whole new management. The lady left. She got transferred somewhere else. So she left, right? Almost who was there was Emily and Matt. It was a guy that took over her position. So the guy in there, so they basically said, y'all doing your job, y'all doing good and stuff like that, you know. Y'all could bring in y'all costumes and stuff, put your costume on and get the customers ready, you know. So there's our schedule gonna change. They was like, no, it's gonna be the same thing and stuff like that. You know, case might be, you know, it's gonna be the same time and stuff like that, you know. Case might be, you know. Now, after that, case might be, you know, I was going out with a guy. I would say that I was going out with a guy, you know. So me and this guy went out and stuff like that. They met part of my family. So yeah. So mind you, at the time I was going out with a guy, which was Jake. So I was going out with him. So, you know, he came to the house, I seen him and stuff like that, you know. So basically it's Halloween, you know, stuff like that, you know. He in the back, my man in the back, scaring the kids, people bringing stuff in. So that. A lot of people wasn't dressed, but a lot of people was dressed for Halloween, just making it fun, you know. So we just having a ball for Halloween, basically having a ball for Halloween. So I basically came in with my Freddy outfit and the clothing and stuff like that, you know, scaring the customers. They doing the whole ball, scaring them, stuff like that, putting on the costume, all that, like looking good as ever in there. So, you know, I came in, stuff like that, you know, costumes and all that, right? So after that, that's when I was like, oh my god. So, you know, he was closing out the registers, stuff like that. We had like 2 or 3 reps. We was just getting down to nitty gritty and stuff, you know. So we just had a ball that high. I mean, so after that, right, getting down, you know. So later on, you know, it was some days that I had off, stuff that it was going good, you know, getting down to where it needs to be, right? So while we having a good time and stuff, I come back. So no, basically, the man was closed up, but he was like, "Listen, I'm closing up. Somebody else gonna be here. I'm getting transferred somewhere else. There'll be a guy that's be here." So, but his name is Fitu. We gonna call him Fitu because he was chubby and small. So we gonna call him Fitu. So he's like, Fitu will be here to my place. So it was like, so we all looking like, we get a new manager. It was like, yeah, y'all get a new manager now. There won't be no money. But we like you fun and stuff. He said, yeah, I know, but Maria's transferring me. So, oh my God. So we was getting different managers, and we was really liking this manager because we was having a ball, like having a good time. But yeah, he got transferred from us. We was just like, oh, we don't want a new manager. Like, it's not gonna be the same without you. In which it wasn't. It was never the same without him. It was just boring like crickets. Like, it wasn't like a good time. So, like, it was really boring. So it's basically one of the managers named Matt, she got transferred. They brought another girl in, which it was 2 shimps. One was a supervisor, the one was a employee. So she came and stuff like that, you know. So we just like, here we go. So her, and there was a new guy that was coming. He came on Monday. Okay, I think it was Monday or Wednesday. He came. So he came, so he said, hi, everybody, hi, y'all doing? He was like, hi, you know, we don't want you here, but what can we say? So, you know, he basically, before he opened up, he basically like, I'm here, if y'all need something, let me know, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we was like, all right. So, you know, everybody was loving the other guy. So it's basically me and baby based on like, yo, I missed that. Like, I was like, me too. It's not the same without him. Like, why would she transfer him? We was having a good time. Come on. So after that, we was just like so mad. I was like, why would you do that to us? Why you disappoint to us? So after that, I'm like, all right. So after this new guy, you know, so we're gonna call him Chubby. Let's call him Chubby, okay? So Chubby, he just like, alright, so everybody feels the cashier, she's doing the money and stuff like that. Cause like, you know, it's getting close to Thanksgiving. Basically getting close. So he made an announcement while everybody's leaving. He's like, listen, I know it's getting close to Thanksgiving. I want y'all to bring your best dish. We're gonna eat it and have a good time before y'all spend time with your families and stuff. You know, you just bring a small dish, you know. We bring a small dish. Mind you, we bring a small dish, you know, stuff like that, you know. I bought some cupcakes and soda. So I bought some cupcakes, you know, everybody loving the cupcakes and stuff like that. Everybody made food and stuff like that, you know. Some people eating food, and I'm just like, knowing me, I don't like eating people's food. But it's like, we bunking, we might as well start spending money, you know. So I ate some people's food. I ate everybody for some people's food. So Jai was like, Jai looking at the food like, I'm not eating this. I'm not eating that. I'm not eating this. This look good. This look good. So then, you know, she's taking little of everything that people brought. So, but when I came, she was like, I'm glad you brought those cupcakes. That food, it was not here. I don't know who made that food, but it's just nasty. So she baked some other people's food and stuff. So I'm eating it. I see some foods I didn't eat because it didn't look good to me. It did not look good to me. So after that, I'm like, alright. So I ate a little bit of food and stuff like that. I didn't really eat too much. So I ate a little bit of food, and I had some of my cupcakes and some soda. So after that, case might be, getting down to it. It's getting down to Christmas, right? Remember, we in November. We getting down to that month. So it was another girl in there that was pregnant. Okay, it's another girl in there that's pregnant. So a mind job, right? It's getting down to it. So later on, right, before the pregnant woman came, right, for the room, Amy had told us that somebody else was coming because she was getting transferred. So it was everybody like, not you too. They was like, yeah. They was like, so I gotta go. They was like, why you getting transferred? Because she was like, because I'm a little bit down because I miss my girlfriend. My girlfriend used to do stuff, this and that. I was just like, man, come on, we didn't be here. Y'all should have been asking why she got transferred. So, but my girlfriend was coming and stuff like that. So it was her last day, and she came, right? But let me go back. So, the reason she wanted to leave because she had just got into a fight with a customer, and she didn't want to be there because she didn't feel protective. So she wanted to transfer, and plus the supervisor wasn't helping. But it's like, that's not their job. They not allowed to break up fights and shit and stuff like that, right? So she got mad because the damn security guard didn't pick up the fight. The girls, they fighting. Oh, she came around the thing and was like, man, you can't come around here. They argued over like a shirt or something that, she couldn't get. So she ran around the counter. They started fighting. Everybody trying to break it up in the store and stuff like that. She got mad. She called Maria, said she wanted to get transferred because she's not safe in that store and stuff like that. Case might be, So I'm just like, oh gosh. So she was like, so she basically saying that she's because I don't feel safe that the dog security guards not helping because I want to get transferred. My girlfriend is there. Things might be, So it was her last day there. So at nighttime, her girlfriend came pick her up. She got in the car and kissing and stuff like that. Cause maybe I'm just like, oh, okay. So she was like, I missed you, stuff like that. Everybody leaving, everybody going where we need to go, stuff like that. We had got that, right? We had got another one, right? So basically, we had got another supervisor, right? We had got another supervisor, stuff like that. So basically, the next day, I had to come inside, wait all the way in the back, and ask for her resume. Okay, she went in the back, asked for her resume. And I see a guy and a kid. So I was like, oh, hi, cutie. So I'm waving hi. It's a cute baby. It was a cute little boy. So I'm like, hi. So, the guy is just looking at, like, trying to find some pants and stuff. You could tell he was just like, it's like something wasn't right about him. It was like something that he wasn't feeling. He was giving, like, he's not feeling that. So his attitude came back down, like that, So she's called her son. When I was like, cutie, I'm looking like, that's your son? And you was acting like this in the store when I came in? Like, yeah, I can definitely see that. So she's basically telling her baby father, like, get something in the store and not pay for it. And so he was like, no, I don't want to. He said, get it and not pay for it. So I'm looking like, okay, like, don't he got money too? So he's getting something, stuff like that. She's paying for it. Case might be, So after that, So then she was like, I told you that was quick and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, stuff like that. So she basically, like, you going out and stuff like that. He was like, yeah, you gonna watch the kid and stuff like that. Like, she was a person that will always go out and have to pay for her watch the kid, and then she would pay for his stuff. Like, I didn't see one time he put out his wallet to pay for something. Like, she's always go her wallet and pay for stuff. I'm just like, if she's one of them that would, like, is this guy broke? Like, you got this kid and stuff like that. Case might be. So she was like, I want to get a job. He like, no. He like, I want to get a job. She's like, no, you're not getting a job. And that, case might be, So they going back and forth. I'm just like, so you just want him to be broke, and you paying the bills and stuff like that. That's basically what kind of mother you are. Like, come on now. So I'm just like, this is crazy. So me and the other guy, Harry, was just laughing and stuff. We just laughing at it, like, this is comedy to us. Like, this is nothing. So he like, this is hilarious. We was like, yeah, this is. So I said, I never thought she had a kid. He was like, me either. He said, because not the way she was carrying on and stuff. I said, yeah. So after that, that's when a couple of days ago, right? It was a new supervisor, which we had a new supervisor. It was Sharon, it was Thickness, and some other girl. And we had this, we had like those supervisors and stuff like that, So after the pregnant girl comes in the store, but she's working there. So this is when the pregnant girl comes in the store, the pregnant girl comes in the store, working and stuff like that, doing everything, So we working and stuff like that, So we talking, we getting along, talking and stuff like that. She asked me for like $5, but then she paid me back. So I was like, okay. So we working, okay, my big, So basically, like, people wasn't in the store. Like, it was people that had days off, so they asked me and Pregnant Girl, can y'all put out some clothes because we don't have enough people that can do it and stuff like that. So he was like, okay. So we put out the stuff like that. So there's like, y'all found something, let me know and stuff like that. Can it be, And even Grace was like, yeah. They was like, she was talking to me. She was telling Grace, she was like, Grace, you be out there, stuff like that. So yeah, Grace and Jazz said, yeah, y'all found something, let us see it before y'all put it out. We was like, all right. So we showed them and stuff like that. They say, yeah, put that out. No, don't put that out. We can leave that. We can actually get that, stuff like that. We see a whole bunch of stuff in there, right? So we put some stuff out. Some stuff, I'm just put it in the bag because it's mad nice, right? Mad nice, put it in the bag. Mad nice, right? So I put it in my locker, right? To pay for it later. I put it in my locker, pay for it later. So after I'm just put it in there, stuff like that, pregnant woman just, she put it in, put it in there, stuff like that. Case might be, we just putting it out, put everything out and stuff like that. Case might be, So after that, I'm just like, okay, and stuff like that, like okay and stuff like that, So after I'm just everything else, I'm just tagging it. So I'm putting it out and stuff like that. I'm using different ones to tag it and stuff like that, So after that, so I'm like, all right. So after that, I'm like, okay. So it's getting down. So after we finished tagging it, stuff like that, everybody was leaving. Everybody was closing. Everybody was getting some stuff that they wanted and stuff like that, I forgot I had the clothes in the locker. I really did. I forgot I had the clothes in there. I ain't gonna hold you. I forgot. Baby shower. So I went to her baby shower. Of course, my boyfriend couldn't come to the baby shower because he had to work and stuff like that. So I went there and stuff like that. Went to a baby shower. Bought some clothes. Had a good time. Stuff like that. I stayed for a couple hours, not too long, and then I left. But I did have a good time at the baby shower, which I did. Since I had an amazing time. It was her boyfriend, him, and she introduced me to her boyfriend. I said, hi, how you doing? Just had a good time and stuff, So after that, cause my big, next day and stuff like that, After that, so I'm like, all right. I came back, stuff like that, I think this was in December. So that's it. Grace put me to the side and was like, those clothes. I said, it's my locker, but I forgot to pay for them. I'm gonna pay for before we leave out of here. I was like, why? He said, because Maria heard something and stuff like that. She heard something. I don't know what happened, but she heard something. And she fired people from left to right. And somebody, for what? What did people do? I don't know. But she was like, and then she was like, what you think it is? I said, I don't know. So after that, that's when she was like, well, some people went in your locker and saw some clothes in there that you didn't buy. I was like, well, I'm going to buy them today. I did see some nice clothes which I did. So after that, I'm like, all right, cause my piece. I'm like, that's strange, because I'm like, it was just in my locker. I was going to buy it, but I forgot to get it. So I'm like, why they going in people's lockers and stuff? Like, who does that? So after that, like, so, I go in there, so that just working, so that, it's getting close. So this happened on, so it's getting close, stuff like that, We ain't saying nothing much or anything. Like she just working and stuff. She ain't saying nothing much or anything like that. She ain't saying much things to it. So on December 6th, right? I see this happened on December 6th. I'm on the floor cotton, on the floor doing what I need to do and stuff. So I see my friend Grace. I said, "Where you going?" She said, "I'm leaving. They fired me." So why they fire you? I don't. They told me I was fired. I was like, "What the hell did you do?" So I'm like, "What did she do? We didn't even do anything. Why the hell we getting fired? Something that we didn't even do." So I'm just lost because I'm like, "What did we do? Why the hell we getting fired?" So I'm like, all right. So after that, right, I see the pretty girl leaving too. I'm like, where you going? I'm fine. Why the hell you fine? What did you do? So I'm looking at what is going on here. So after that, I see Jazz fire. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm just like, I am nervous because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Like, I was looking lost. Like, I don't know what's going on. So after that, Harry's like, man, everybody just leave. He was like, I didn't know. He said, shoot, you about to be next. I said, I hope not, because I didn't even do nothing. So after that, so they called me upstairs. They was like, Grace, can you come to the office? I was like, oh my goodness. I said, don't tell me I'm about to get fired next. Like, I didn't even do anything. So after that, right, so I'm like, what is going on? I am confused. Like, what's going on here? So I'm like, so I go upstairs. I go in the office. I was like, hey Grace. I was like, hey. So I was like, why I'm here? So I'm looking. I said, why I'm here? I said, oh, this must be a promotion. They was like, no, ain't no promotion. I was like, what's this about? So they was like, well, a lot of people getting fired and stuff like that. I was like, why? He said because a lot of people were stealing and stuff like that. Cause it might be. So the people getting fired. I said, oh, that got nothing to do with me. But we see some clothes in there in your locker. So I'm like, why y'all in my locker? So it's like, we see some clothes. I said, yeah, which I was going to buy them. I didn't steal them. I was going to buy them on the floor, but I forgot to buy them. So I left it in there if I could buy it the next day, but I'm not stealing them. So they was like, well, you getting fired because you got your clothes in your locker, which you shouldn't. Well, you shouldn't be going through my locker. Who goes to employees' lockers? Like, who does that? So I'm just like, what in the hell? I'm like, so I'm getting fired because I had something in my locker that I was going to buy, but I forgot to buy it right then. So I said, that's not making no sense. So they was like, here, you can write your name. I said, I'm not writing that. I'm not signing nothing. So I was like, so they was like, you're going to have to, I'm not leaving. So I said, you're going to have to call them because I'm not leaving. So they was like, yo, you really tough. That's not. I'm like, no, I'm just not leaving. So after that, they getting mad because I'm telling them I'm not leaving, no da da da, stuff like that, So after that, they just like, they having a hard time with my mom. I said, well, I'm not leaving. So after that, they was like, well, they was like, Mike, can you please go? And so like, yeah, you can't. I'm like, you know, speak it. So I was like, whatever. So it's like, I'm not signing nothing. I'm sorry, but I'm not signing nothing. Goodbye. So after that, right, so I got my stuff out the lockers and stuff like that, I came out behind, I got a couple of things and stuff like that, I think it was like 1 or 2 shirts. I took out the bag. I left on the floor, stuff like that, So, was like, where you going? I said, I'm fine. They was like, you fired me? Yeah, because I had something in my locker. Exactly. They shouldn't have been going through my stuff. Like, why y'all going through people's stuff? So, basically, Fat Boy, and Sharon, and he was like that. I'm looking like, y'all gonna get yours. Y'all not gonna be here and stuff like that. Cause like people, it's alright. So, after that, I'm like, listen. Which I had already knew. So the other shampoo say, where you going? I said, well, why they fired me? Why the hell they fired you? Because some stuff that we was doing in the back, and we wasn't even doing nothing. Like, we wasn't even taking nothing like that. There was like to do it, but it's alright. Karma's gonna get you. Karma's gonna get you, honey. So I went home and stuff like that. Called my man, like, tell him I got fired. So how the hell you got fired? And I told him, I said, well, da 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 da. He was like, oh my god. I was like, yeah, they fired me, and so I can't come back. So after that, after I had to go back because they gave my last check. Went back. I said, can I get my last check? So after that, I had to go upstairs. So the tough guy go upstairs. I went upstairs. I had to go back upstairs. I had to get my sneakers and my uniform. So it's like, you can't. I had to get my sneakers, my uniform. What's the issue here? So he was like, oh, and I need my check. So I'm basically telling, I need my check. So man gave my check. Yes, I need my check. Thank you. So I was like, I'm like, yeah, because you're not about to do this. Because this is foul what y'all doing. So after that, I was just like, yo, I'm done. I ain't coming back, which I didn't. I never came back to the store or nothing like that because they was just doing people wrong. Like, GoodWill, I never went back to it. It was just like I found something good and better. GoodWill StoryTime, it was just crazy. I hope y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend on my channel. There'll be more story times. Y'all don't want to miss it. Like I said, there's a part 2, but y'all go on the other channel, which is Grace Gorgeous. And yes, I hope y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, tell a friend, on my channel. Share my video, share my vlog, my life. Hope y'all having a good day. There'll be more videos coming. Mwah.
Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the